Then we have discussed about the compound, the and or functions, and thereafter we have combined them with the if and if or. So that was basically our discussion on the last class. So from these video recording, so if you have any questions, now it is time for you to get them clarified. So thereafter we can move on to the class activities. And as you all have seen that, so we have updated your marks for the class assignment. So there we have uploaded it. So you can be now that is there in the LMS, your marks are available. And also today I'll be discussing about your class activity 2, probably towards the end of the class. So more details would be given on that. Yes, first we would like to hear if you had any questions. Yes.
Prashant sir, there's a question, no?
Yes.
Can we include more than one logical test in the if function?
If functions. Yes, in fact. So that is
not in the basic if.
Yes, that is not in the basic if, but you would witness the videos that we'll be activating today. So there we'll be discussing about like ifs function, so more than one if, as well as the nesting if function. So there you would see, so there will be taking more logical test. There will be taking more logical tests. You can witness that in the videos that we'll be activating today. Good. So far, if you have questions on the previous things, I believe that it would be perfectly clear to you. But still, if you find
Roshan sir, we can quickly just describe about the pivot table in a very brief manner.
Yes.
By using the handout or the Excel worksheet what is given there.
Yeah.
Just simply then if they are having further questions related to that section, we can get their questions and answer it.
Yes.
And after that, Kingsley sir can just brief about the function, and then we can talk about the function and finish it off. No?
Yes, sure.
We'll brief a little bit about the function as well during this session. No?
Yes. So better let me take on that. Thank you very much, sir. We'll do accordingly.
You can share the database and the screen, no, sir?
Yes, I'll be sharing
using that database. We can just explain how this function is working.
Yes.
Few things, important things related to the function.
Yes.
And then after that, we can go to the other activities as well, like that. Then we will give them a chance to ask. And meantime, anytime they can ask the questions, whereby we can answer their questions, and then session will be more fruitful, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, we'll do accordingly. So give me 1 second. I'll be sharing that, sir. Right. So we'll start our discussion by just looking at so the pivot tables that we discussed in the previous.
So are you recording?
Yes, sir.
Are you recording?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm recording that. So here, basically, we explained that in the lecture that the pivot table is mainly used for the analysis. So we call it to slice and dice data. So you will be using the pivot tables. So there, it may come handy in most of the time when you work in large scale databases. So when you work in large scale databases, in order to perform different kinds of analysis, so this would be helpful. For example, here we have taken that. So if you have several stores, so in a particular kind of business organization, there we can see in each of the store what was the total spending for a particular period. and the amount is spent on each product. So you'll be having a range of product. So in that you can identify, so what was the sales that is relating to each of these products. So likewise, you'll be seeing various kinds of information. So especially this is useful when you are working in large scale databases. Then in this video, we have discussed about how to create a pivot table. So we'll be looking at that. And thereafter, we have taken on a particular activity. And then I took you through the how to change these layouts and how to summarize the things in a kind of chart. So to present them in a kind of a graphical presentation, and also how to update the new data to the pivot table. So these are the aspects that we had basically covered. So just to show you a kind of scenario, how to get this pivot table. So here I have a large scale database where there would be around 920 records are there. So when you have this data set, basically what you have to do initially, so you may place the cursor somewhere in the data set. So most of the time that is your starting point. You may place your cursor somewhere in the data set, and then you can go to this insert ribbon. You can go to this insert ribbon. There you can see in the table section, the pivot table is there. Pivot table is there. Then you may simply click on that. So once you click that, you can see that the particular data set is recognized by this pivot table. The pivot table recognizes the required data set. So we have placed our cursor somewhere in the data set. So therefore, they have identified the place. So here you can see that the relevant area has been identified. But in some cases, you may witness that. So once you once you place your cursor somewhere in the data set, and if you go to this pivot table, sometimes it may not take the data set. In such kind of situation, what you are supposed to do, so let's say that in this instance, it had not come, then you can simply select them. You can simply select them. So in kind of exam situation, sometimes you may witness that it may not come. Then you need not to panic. You can simply select the data set there. And thereafter, most importantly, choose where you want the pivot table to be placed. So that is something pretty much important. So here basically we have two options. You can either go for a new worksheet, or you can use the existing worksheet. But it is recommended, better you try always to go for a new worksheet. So that would be a kind of good practice. So you may go for a new worksheet, then you are in a separate setting, then it would be convenient. So otherwise you have the data or the data set with you, and also the analysis in front of that. So believe that may not be something. So sometimes it can be confusing. So better to go for a new worksheet. You can simply click OK. So with that, you can see you will be directed to the new worksheet. In that, you can see there is an area for this pivot table. In fact, so this is where your data table or the pivot table is created. So මෙතන areas දෙකක් identify කරන්න පුතාලා. So එකක් pivot table එක. So මෙතන තමයි ඇත්තටම අපි pivot table එක create වෙන්නේ. ඒත් එකම on the left hand side, you can see the pivot table fields are there. Pivot table fields are there. So this is in fact the headings what you had witnessed in the previous data set. So if I just go back and just to show you this, so here we had year, month, store, group, product, unit, revenue, and that is there in the pivot table fields. So you can see the year, month, store, group, product, unit, and revenue is there. Then what you have to do, So depending on the requirement, you can carry out your analysis. Now you are there. So let's say that in this particular instance that you want to take, you want to identify the different stores that you have and the different products that is being sold in a particular period or the period under consideration in this analysis. So you want to identify the different product that is being sold in different stores for a particular period. Let's say that you want to come up with such kind of analysis. Then all what you have to do, when you take a table, basically you have rows and columns. You have rows and columns. In that, you can put this store to the column. See what happened. Here you can see the columns what you have has come over there. The east, north, south, west. Then if you want to take the products, you can take them to you can simply drag it and drop it. Then here we have the list of products. And then most importantly, now you need to have the values in that. Let's say that you want to have the revenue. So bring that to this value field. Bring that to this value field. So this is basically the analysis what you wanted to have at the moment. You have identified the different regions or the different stores and also the different products that you have. So here you have done that basic analysis. So most importantly, when it comes to this pivot table, three main columns involved, that is three main fields involved, that is column, rows, and values. And again, when it comes to these values, by default, the sum is taken. But in some instances, you may need to have something other than that. Say that you want to have the average, then how you are supposed to get that? So I have extensively discussed those aspects in the video, but just to show. So there are what you can do in this kind of values. You can see the drop down menu is there. So you can simply click on that. Then you can see the value field settings. The value field settings gets appear. Or otherwise you can simply right click on this and you can still go to this value field settings. So whatever the way that is convenient, you may access to that. Then it asks you what kind of function that you need. Is it the sum of the revenue that you need, or by default they would take that, or if you want average, you can specify that and you can say okay. Then it gives you the average sales. So likewise, whatever the function, so whatever the form output that you may want, so it would facilitate by this pivot table. So that's how we change the different formulas that is being used. By default, the sum function is there, but you can take it the average one. And then another important feature that is about the filters. So here you can add another dimension to this analysis. At the moment you have got these stores and also the products. But apart from that, if you want to do this analysis, say based on the years, so you want to do a year-wise analysis, you can take it as a filter. Put this and see what gets added. At the top, you can see this year gets added. This year gets added. And in that, you can select a particular year, say 2006. So this would be this is the situation for 2006. Likewise, for 2007, you can take the situation. So that is another dimension. Even you can go for 2 filters, no problem. So you may explore whatever the things that is there, right? So you can add more than one into these columns and into these rows, and with that, this particular table get analysis. But make sure that you always try to achieve the end requirement. So identifying the end requirement, and you may cater to that. You may cater to that. And thereafter, most important thing what we had discussed, that was about the graphical presentation. So you can do a kind of graphical presentation of this. In order to do that, what you have to do in the analysis, in the analyze section, there you have this pivot chart. Pivot chart. So you may have used this pivot chart in order to present this information in a graphical way. So that is also possible. So you can take that. So if I just take this, so here we have a whole lot of information, but thereafter we can do some kind of customization, and we can simply keep it for this original scenario. So this is the graphical presentation. So here you can see all the products are there, and all the what do you call this, stores are there. Then so this is a total scenario. Then, as I said, you can do some kind of customization. Let's say that at the moment we want, say, 2 products, not all the products, but we may want these apples and cherries, and let's say another, and chocolates. Let's say that at the moment we want to see these 3 products, and say okay. So this is the situation for the apple, cherries, and chocolate. So in each of these stores, you can see the situation. Then as far as the East is concerned, East and also the West has equally contributed in sales for apples. In apple sales, the East and West is the highest, and they have contributed to the highest of 2,500 revenue, the average revenue, because we are taking average. And similarly for the cherries, you can see the highest contributor, the West, and it is around somewhere around 2,200 or something. And as far as the chocolate is concerned, you can see the highest contributor is the North region. So this is basically about the graphical presentation. So there you have different kinds of charts you can take, and depending on the requirement, you may explore those aspects. So that is another important thing what we had discussed. Apart from that, one final thing we have discussed, that was about how to update the data. So here when you have this pivot table, what if you make a particular change to the data set? In sometimes you may witness later that the errors could have been there. So in relating to the units or in relation to the revenue, the errors can be there. So you may come across the instances as such. In such an instance, if you just correct this particular error in this data set, it may not automatically reflect in the data set. It is not going to automatically reflect. But instead, you have to do something to update this pivot table. And we'll see what it is. So if I just go back to this data set, so let me change one figure. Say that you want to change. So let's change something relating to apple or something. Then we can even witness the change. Yes, apples, let's say at the moment, you can see the average in North. Just have a look at that. Average apple sales in North is 1,913.1. 1,913. Now let me change one figure over here. Say it is 615, but the amount should be 3,500 or something. I have changed the data set. Though I have changed the data set, I know that the data set is here the pivot table has not got updated. You can see the apples is there, still 1,913 is there. But we know for sure it has to be changed. It has to be changed. Then how you bring that new change to the pivot table? In that, you can right click and you can simply refresh. You can simply refresh. So with that, you can see that these apples figures had become 2440. So this is basically the discussion that we had on this pivot table. Right. So likewise, if you had any questions on the videos that we had on this, the functions, the Boolean operators, and also the AND function or function, and if we have combined them with the if and if for. Yes, likewise, if you have questions, we can take on that as well. Right. Hope you all are fine with this. Then shall we straight away move on to the tutorial? Right. In fact, sorry for these tutorials. In fact, I couldn't activate that to you. So I have managed to update just 1 hour before. So I couldn't make them available to you earlier. In fact, it was there, but I couldn't activate that. And sorry for that. Even I have asked some of you to work this out, those who have came earlier. If they have tried that. Right. So there's a request that how to refresh again. Let me show that, right? So initially you may go to the data set, and whatever the change that that is required, you may do that. So let's say that we are doing this change for these apples. At the moment, remember the figure, apples in the north for 2007 is 2448. And let's say that you want to make it 6500. 6500. You have changed that. Then you know for sure this figure is not correct. The apples in the north for 2007, this should not be the average. So therefore, in order to accommodate this new circumstance, all what you have to do, you have to come to this pivot table and right click. Right click. Then you can see the refresh option is there. Right? You can simply left click on the refresh. With that, the new circumstance get updated over here. So that's how we update the data set. In fact, I can remember that this was the question that you had raised earlier before a couple of lectures back. Now I believe you are there. Fine. So shall we move on to the tutorial straight away and see some of the questions that are there, right? Pivot table and decision logics class activities. So you've been asked to create the pivot table for 4 instances. Create the pivot table for 4 instances where you are expected to do 4 kinds of analysis using the groceries Excel data file. Right? If anyone had tried this, yes, I would like to first give them a chance. If anyone had tried that at the moment. Right, okay. Fine. The first one, yes, thank you, Ravindu. The first question, let's see, it is about to identify the revenue from each product for different stores, right? You want to identify the revenue from each product for different stores. Yes, so in fact, that is what we have done a moment ago. Yes, can you, yes, I believe that.
It's correct.
Yes, it's perfectly correct, yes. So it is pretty manageable, and thank you very much. Right. Right. So similarly, so let's look at the second one. Again, I would like someone to contribute to identify the unit sold of each product in each month, each year, and should be able to filter based on group. You want to identify the unit sold of each product, each month, and each year. Everything must be there. And also you need to apply a filter for this based on the group. Based on the group. You want to go for different levels, the year, month, the unit relating to different product. So different levels you have to go. And yes, if someone has attempted that, so would like to see you. Just if anyone had attempted that. So it's a pretty simple thing, though it looks a little complicated. So that's not a big deal, right? Yes. Yes, Hilma. Right. Okay, you have done it. So there, basically, you have taken the products for the rows, and also you have taken the units. So it is in fact the values as you've shown. And for the column, you have taken the year and month. Yes, if I'm just to see this. Yes, what you all wanted to see, the requirement was to identify the unit sold. Okay, the each product, each month, each year. Yes, very correct. You have taken the products very perfectly. Then you have taken the units in between and the year and the different months. Different months are taken. And most importantly, you have applied the filter that is by the group. So can you please click on this all and let's see a particular group. Yes, how about the situation for fruits? Yes, you want to have a picture on that? Yes, so this is the situation for the fruits. Okay, so it works perfectly. It works perfectly. Hope that even others would manage to do the same. Hope that even others would manage to do the same. Fine. So thank you very much, Hilma. So let's look at the third. So meanwhile, if you have anything to get clarified with respect to any of this, so you may please ask, please indicate that in the chat, then we can look into that. The third requirement is you want to identify the revenue from each product for different stores in each year. You want to identify the revenue for each product, different stores each year, and should be able to filter based on the group. Yes. Again, I would like someone to enlighten the class. Yes. I would like someone to volunteer. So you'll realize that how easy the analysis is now. How easy the analysis. It's just a matter of few clicks. In just few clicks, you can get the desired analysis. So whatever the depth, so you can achieve that in no time, I would say. I believe that your life was not that much comfortable before. So with this particular tool, so it will make your life easy, especially so while you're working, when you're handling large scale databases, this particular tool may come in handy for sure. Yes, someone. Volunteer, yes. Is there anyone? Yes. Okay, fine. Let me take that myself. So here, let's try this out. The third activity. So you have to go to the data set. So this is the data set that we have. Here I have changed one figure. Let me restore that to original. Yeah. Right. So this is my original data set. Now I want to do the analysis. So as usual, click somewhere in the data set, go to the insert and the pivot table. Data set is automatically taken. Now you take the new worksheet. In that, let's see the requirement. The requirement is to identify the revenue from each product for different stores. Each product, different store. Okay. So definitely you have to take the product. Let me put it to the rows as usual. And then it was for the different product, different stores. Then I might take the different stores for the columns. You can simply drag and put them. Then you have the different regions, what you have, different stores that you have, north, east, west, south. And then you can take the values. This time they have asking for the revenue. And not only that, again, you need to bring the year into the picture as well. In each year into the picture. I would take that to the columns. So here we have the situation. Under the years in each of the regions, and this is it. And also one level of filter is required. The filter is required, that is based on the group. So you can bring this group to the filter. So someone has switched on the mic. So you have to switch off the mic. Right. So this is the analysis, what it was expected. So you have taken the group as the filter, then the product, and then the year, and also the different stocks. So this is the case, and you can view it for different product groups. The cereal, this would be the situation, and the fruit, the ice cream, this is the situation. Likewise, you can do it, and you can filter them and see the picture. So that would be the case for the third one. And the final one, it is about to identify the revenue of each product under different groups for different stores and should be able to filter based on year and month. The revenue, each product, different groups and different stores. Yes, I would like to give the chance for someone. As one of you may contribute. If you had tried that. So is there anyone who has tried this? Yes, okay. Thank you, Ravindu. Thank you, Ravindu. Right, okay. Yes, so here you have taken the product, okay, to the rows, and then there you have taken the different groups. Groups are there in the column and the store. Good. And when come to the value, you have taken the sum of revenue. Okay. And there you taken the year and month as the filter. Right. If I say you that I need to have this maximum values, the maximum sales in each of these product in each of the regions. So I would need to have that. Okay, you may go to value field and you may come up with the maximum. And here we have the maximum revenue that is generated by each of the stores for each of the product. Okay, good. Then can you take us to the analysis, the situation of 2007? 2007. So let us go back. I want to, yes, the year 2007 and the month, say it's March. So what is the situation in that particular month? Yes, this is it. So when the manager requests you, whatever the piece of information that they need, and you must be able to provide them. You must be able to provide them in no time. So here you would experience that. Right. Thank you, Randu. Yes. So it is about our discussion, the question that we had on pivot table. So if you have any questions, yes, we would like to hear you.
I think they got the good idea of how powerful is the pivot table in the case of filtering the information for the various situations, right?
Yes.
This particular question is giving them opportunity to filter the data for various situations, and also you will be able to change it, averages, maximum values, so many things you can do. So how powerful is this particular tool called pivot table?
So in fact, this may come handy. So when you are working for this organization, so better make the maximum use out of this and also make sure to explore. So we have taken you through the basic features, but it is there. So the necessary things, the most essential aspects, but still there's a room for you to search and gather more knowledge on this. So explore each of these options. Right. Now we may move on to the second question. It's based on the decision logics what we had, especially the AND function, the O function. Here we are testing that your knowledge on that. So in fact, that was the things what we discussed in the last videos which we activated to you. Right. Here we have given a question where you have 3 discount schemes. So again, I would like someone to volunteer. Then thereafter, so we may do whatever the additions that should come. Right. Yes, I would like to someone to volunteer and show us or take us through the first discount scheme. Okay, thank you. Yes, right. So let's see the first discount scheme. Let me see that. It says that the discount A, the corporate segment is eligible for a 5% discount from all the sales. From all the sales. The corporate segment is eligible for a 5% discount. Yes. So can you come to the very first column? So, so I would suggest that. So shall we delete? But it is there at the moment, and let us show how you did that. Would like to see. Yes. Okay. Then you have taken a function. Okay. Right. So here we would like to add one thing to the. Yes, fine. You may move on that. Okay. Can you take us back to this if function? Go back. And once you take this if, can you please click on the fx? Can you put that to the expanded form? Yes. So here we have the expanded form. So shall we work in this? Okay. First you have go to this segment and there you make it the corporate. Okay. Corporate. Fine. Then that was your logical test. You're going to test whether this segment is corporate. Thereafter, if it true, then the sales must get multiplied by the discount percentage. Good. The value if false, you can say 0. Okay, good. Say okay. Okay. You can simply drag that. Either you can simply double click on that. Yes, fine, fine. You better drag it. In fact, you need not to drag this. Okay, you better drag this in this instance. You have, if you have double click on the corner, see, I believe that would be easy, no? You can double click. Yes, see, that applies for the rest. Okay, there you have seen the first one. Right, thank you very much, Puka. So if you have any questions on this, here we have done the basic if calculation, basic if application was there. So you have test for one condition, you have test this segment, whether it's a corporate, then if so, if that is true, what must be the outcome? If it is false, what should be the outcome? So therefore, the basic if you had to apply there. Okay. Let's see the second discount scheme. The discount B, the consumer segment from California state eligible for a discount of 3% from sales. Consumers from California eligible for a discount of 3%. Right. Would like someone to volunteer and take us through your answer? So you have done a good piece of work. Yes. Just show your work.
What about the others? No one is tried that?
Yes. We would like to see.
Now you got two conditions. Both conditions need to get true answer to get the result.
Yes.
So what is the formula we can use in that situation? We cannot do that by one single if command because you have given two conditions now. One condition need to be the region, right, sir?
Yes. Yeah. It has to be yes, segment, customer segment, and also the region, state.
Customer segment and
state.
State, yes. Yeah. Both need to match. Then only we will get the result. So then you have to combine this if with some other function. So what is the function you are going to select? We saw the perfect answer from the other student, but anyone else willing to explain that? That will be better, no?
Yeah, maybe we'll give opportunity to someone else. Yes. So we would like more of you to contribute, and that is where the real value. So you would contribute and you will enlighten the class. Yes, this is your discussion, the class discussion. Would like to see. Right, okay. There's a question that can't we have all the three fields under area of row, I mean product, group, and store under field of row based on the previous activity. There you have asked one question that relating to the pivot tables.
Pivot table.
Yes, in fact, you can have it. So you have witnessed an instance where we have taken two fields under the columns or even under the rows.
Three.
Yes, you can bring three, no problem. So you can try. You can try different things and explore that. Yes, definitely you can bring that. Good.
So we will ask the same student to share it and see the other two answers as well.
Yes.
From him because he has completed the whole table.
Yeah, that's better. Right. So the one who has contributed us in the very first one would, yes, Lakshita, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Can you, yes, again, would like to see that? We'll remove that and shall we see that? Yes. Right. Can you tell us how you did initially? Okay, you have taken the function was taken. Okay, good. Then you have taken and, because here you have seen that two conditions need to get satisfied. So therefore you have to combine, you have to bring and into the picture. Okay, then you have made sure the first condition that the segment has to be consumer. So that is one. While the second condition,
Again, sir, if the Pita can share this with the argument function of n, that will be better for the others. Now, when you come, erase it, Pita, go back, erase it. When you come to the logical test, now we know we cannot test this, right? Because we have two conditions to be tested. In if command, it is not possible to do that. That's why you are going to combine another command for that. So when you are there, in the cursor is inside the logical test, then you can go to the address function. But here at the address function, where the position shows F2 drop down, click that
so
drop down of the F2.
No, you have to be there. You have to be there. And
Keep your cursor there. Then
yeah.
come bring the mouse pointer into the F2 location.
Yes.
Where F2 is showing address
Right.
label.
Right.
Go to the address label. No, here, Pita. Address label at the top.
Address label at the top.
Address.
F2, you can see somewhere over there. So you may come little.
Keep your cursor inside the logical test. First unlike. So you come to the logical test, click that. First go to the logical test. Click that. Now go to the particular function here. And click the drop down.
Now you go to F2. Yeah.
Yeah, drop down. From there you can select the particular function. If it is not shown, go to the more option.
More functions.
More functions. Go down, more functions.
Yes.
Right. Now you can type and type there.
In the search.
And search it. Go. Now select. Click OK.
Click. Right.
Right. So you can show the powerfulness of this logical test. You can go up to 255 arguments.
Yes.
Right. Not only 2. Now you can write the first argument. Yes. Correct. Equal.
Consumer. Right.
Right. Go to the second argument. No need the comma. No, write down in the logical test too, Pita. No need comma even. Right. So go to the second situation.
Second. Yeah. And yes. California. Okay. Good.
Perfect. That's it. We can go up to 255. Then you click OK. That will come back to the. No. So no need to click OK. Again, what you need to do, you click if in middle of the bar. Right.
Right.
So
when
you click OK. Come to the formula bar. Come to the formula bar and click in between if letter if. Come to the formula bar and click the letter if.
Yes. Right.
Right. Now you can write the true and false answer to the if command. Write down your formula.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
And put the false as 0. Right. Double click and get the result.
Right.
Excellent.
Perfect. So you have done a good piece of work. Now you have seen that even by using the functions itself, so you can manage this. So there's no point of just go and typing the things. So you could have conveniently done that using this if function and function. So if you open up the separate windows for them, you can easily accommodate the things. But if you are familiar with the previous method, yes, that is still correct. So there can be different ways of putting that, whatever that gives you the comfort, and you may stick to that, but better explore whatever the different ways of getting that.
Important here to understand the AND function will search all true answers. Yes. Whereby the consumer need to be there in the column A column, and also in the B column you need to match with the California. If the A and B both match, only the result will appear.
Yes.
Otherwise, no result. There can be first column matching, but not the second column matching. In that case, no answer for that. So perfect. Let's go to the third one. Third option. What is the situation? Third one.
Yeah, we'll see. Third one. Here we need to show the customers who purchase tables or chairs. Customers who purchase tables or chairs eligible for a discount of 2%.
Okay. So that means now the situation is different. Now we want to see if the customer is purchased chair or the tables, right? So the both situation will get the discount. So if the person is buying chairs, he will get the discount, as well as if the person is buying tables, he will also get the discount.
Right? Here we have to take not and putane.
And again bavata. And again karanne functions dekama.
Both. Yeah.
Yes.
We have to make
the function එක අපිට true වෙන්න ඕනේ here.
Yeah. It has to be O.
O එක type කරලා ගන්න. Yes.
Good. Okay. Right.
Yeah. Give the first test equal to
tables.
Yeah.
It has to be tables.
Then go to the second test, same cell, whether it is equal to the
chairs. Chairs.
Fine, excellent. So there's a two condition. Then go back to the if function and click that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Now write your formula.
So the 2% discount is there. It's true. They are eligible for a 2% discount. Yes. Double click on that. Right. Yeah, they are perfect. So you have done it very correctly. And now the whole class has witnessed the different ways of doing that. Yes, now you can have, if you have questions, yes,
Net
yes.
sale formula.
Yes, then you can take the net sales easily. You can deduct all the discounts that is there from the sales. Then you maybe ended up with the,
yeah,
good. Once you double click, yeah, right. So there can be questions on this. If you have any questions, yes, we would like to attend to that.
Thank you, Buta. You can
Thank you very much.
leave from the screen.
Yes, thank you very much, Lakshita. Yes, so if you have questions, now you can raise them. You can even indicate that in the chat, or otherwise you can speak up, whatever that is convenient. Then let me talk something about your second class activity. As I told from the very beginning, now we have made available your marks in the
So you can share the our LMS, no? Share the
yeah, sure, sir. Yes. Yeah. So in fact, by now we have made the marks available to you. In fact, in the last class itself, the Kalam sir had given you the marks, indicated that. Now we have simply taken that to a kind of mark sheet. Here you can see your marks, individual marks are there. In the week 27 to 2nd July, your class marks are there. So for the first one, you have done a good piece of work, but there you have did something unethical, we would say that. We didn't expect such kind of thing to happen. That most of you had engaged in the kind of behavior that we have strictly advise you not to engage in, but you had done that. Because of that, so when come to our class activity 2, we are not going to allow you days. We are not going to allow you days, but instead, depending on the difficulty level of this question, we have identified that the question would require like 20 minutes time. 20 minutes time. Having understood that, what we have done, we are going to allow you 30 minutes. Even for the purpose of uploading, we are going to allow you 30 minutes time to attempt this question. And when you have to attempt this question, in fact, there's a particular day and particular time for that. The day that you must attempt your second.
So go down to the question, no? Go down and show that, because they can see from your screen, it's hidden at the moment.
But
they can see it.
Right.
So they can see now here the class activity. It's hidden.
Yeah. The class activity 2 is there, right? So I will be activating on that particular day. So we are going to activate this on 2nd of August. 2nd of August. That is in the sense this Sunday, the coming Sunday, will be opening it up at 9 p.m. At 9 p.m. at sharp 9, we are going to open this and we are going to close that by 9:30. So you have given the submission point and you do have to submit. You can try this within maximum of 20 minutes or 15 minutes time. Then thereafter you can take time to verify and you can upload it. තර්පුතාල මේ second class activity එක අපි ඒකට ඉඩ දෙන යම් නිශ්චිත වෙලාවක්. ඒතකොට අපි ඒකේ දවසක් decide කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒක තමයි මේ ඉරිදා. මේ ඉරිදා ඒ කියන්නේ දෙවනිදා අගෝස්තු 2 වෙනිදා රෑ 9ට මේ class activity එක open වෙනවා. class assignment 2 එක open වෙනවා රෑ 9ට. එතකොට අපි 9:00ට මේකේ time එක ඉවර වෙනවා. එතකොට අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම පුතාල 9:00 වෙන්න කලින් මේ submission point එකෙන් මේ answer එක submit කරන්න ඕනේ. We are not going to accept any excuses. So it's a kind of weekend You have to make yourself available on that particular time and you may attend that. ඒකට අනිවාර්යෙන්ම විතර හැමෝටම convenient වෙන වෙලාවක් විදිහට ඉරිදා රෑ 9 තීරණය කරේ. ඒකට සතියන්තයක් right? ඒකට පුතාලට පුළුවන් ඒ time එකේ අනිවාර්යෙන්ම මේ activity එක try කරලා ඒක upload කරන්න. ඒක පුතාලට විනාඩි 15ක වැඩක්. right? ඒක තමයි අපි ඉන්න දෙන එකම time එක. Make sure that you'll be uploading the answers on time.
ඒකට අදාළ වෙන්නේ මේ වීඩියෝස්ම තමයිනේ. So
Yes,
what we have discussed up to now.
And the video that we activate today, yes, the videos what we have in fact activated by now is also applicable. The previous class one as well as the ones that we have activated relating to this 27th to 2nd of August. So අපි activate කරලා තියෙන පුතා not function එක nesting if සහ ifs function එක. ඒතර මේ functions ටික කොහොම study කරලා ඒතකොට time එකක් තියෙනවා කරලා තමයි මේ activity එක කරන්න ඕනේ. So therefore make sure by Sunday you have gone through these videos. It won't take much time. For all these videos what we have uploaded this week would take you around 1 hour's time. So therefore you have enough time to go through that and make yourself ready for the assignment and do that on time and upload it to the submission link. Yes. Anything, Kellam sir, that we need to?
I think that's it now for the day, because you need to go for the practical training discussion as well, no? Regarding that 8:30. So we can conclude our discussion today, and also now the next week also we are going to have a lecture at the same time.
Yes.
In the evening we are going to have a discussion regarding the activities.
Yes, sir. Yeah, as usual, we'll be taking our discussion and we are going to activate your class activities as well. Then you may attempt that when you come to the next class. And we will
can even activate now, sir. Otherwise, we will forget that.
Yeah.
We can activate all the lesson material for the next week now.
Yeah.
Then they can even now, from now, they can approach it.
Yes. Your class activities are activated. You can try them. So
and the videos are on, no?
Yes,
videos are on.
Videos are on, and we'll be activating the class assignment on Sunday at 9 p.m. Right. Then thank you very much. So this is the end of our discussion on accounting modeling, the decision logics, and the pivot table. Now we'll be taking you for the discussion, the internship discussion, and Kellam sir, Kinsey sir, Samit sir, thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes, we'll be continuing the session.
Thank you, Roshan sir.
Thanks. So we'll wait a few minutes time. Samanthi ma'am and Tajwat sir, Rangajiv sir will join, and then we can start, right?
Roshan,
Yes.
Roshan, I have joined, but if the students want to have a break, maybe about, I don't know whether they want to have 5 minutes break or.
Yes, ma'am. Better we'll start in 5 minutes time.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Other one sir and Ajit sir can also join.
Yeah, sure. So we'll take some time until the lecturers join. So probably in 5 minutes time, we'll be starting.
Samanthi madam.
Ajit sir has come.
It has Ajit sir come, right? Okay. Sandar one should also
Yes.
come. Eh?
Yes. Yeah, madam. Yeah, madam. I have come. I just joined.
Right. Okay, Sandar one. So 3 of
Yeah,
us
madam.
are
Let's
here.
see whether-
Yes,
Rangaji is also
I'll
sir.
call
yeah.
Rangaji sir.
User sent me a message saying that he will join in 5 minutes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I also just finished the forensic accounting lecture. Okay.